Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's episode, we will be discussing what a break-even analysis is, why you need to know this figure, and how to calculate it. Welcome to the Accountant's Recipe. Before we move on, please show some support and hit the subscribe button and also the bell button to be notified every time I upload a video. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button so YouTube's algorithm can get to work and share this video with more people in the restaurant community. Okay, let's get right to it. As a restaurant owner, you can break down your costs into variable costs, such as a cost of food, and fixed costs, such as rent. Now, your variable cost, such as your cost of food, tends to fluctuate according to your sales. So, if you have high sales in your restaurant, you would expect a higher cost of food, and if you have low sales, then you would expect low cost of food, right? This is very different from your fixed costs, such as your rent, which is not correlated with your sales, and that's why it's a fixed cost. So now that you're incurring all of these fixed costs in your business, it's very important for you to be able to understand and calculate how much food and drink your restaurant needs to sell in order to cover these fixed costs. This is what we describe as the break-even point. Okay, so remember, the sales that you are generating to cover your fixed costs will also incur a variable cost, right? Because as your sales increase, so will the cost of food. Here at the Accountant's Recipe, we work with our clients in helping them to understand how much sales they need to generate in order to break even. So, for example, if your break-even figure was £7,000, you would need to generate sales of £7,000 in order to break even. That means your business doesn't make a profit and neither does it make a loss. So, why is working out your break-even so important? First of all, it allows you to understand and set your sales targets on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. So, for example, if your break-even sales figure was £7,000, as a business, you would know that you need to achieve £7,000 worth of sales before your business can start to make a profit, which is what we like to hear. Now, if your break-even figure is too high, this gives you an opportunity to identify the costs involved in your business and looking at cutting down them fixed costs in order to making your break-even point more realistic and therefore giving a better chance of your business making a profit. Alternatively, you could look at the pricing of your menu, you could look at portion control. Either way, it gives you an opportunity to identify the income and expenses in your business, therefore helping you achieve a more realistic break-even sales figure. Thirdly, by understanding your break-even figure, you can plan for the what-ifs. So, for example, what if my rent went up? How much would my sales need to increase in order to break even? Or what if the cost of utilities went up? Or what if the Accountant's Recipe can solve all of my problems? Sorry, I thought I'd take the opportunity to throw that in. But anyways, understanding your break-even figure is important because it allows you to plan for them what-ifs. Now, if that topic is of interest to you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel as I will be uploading a video explaining how to plan and calculate for the what-ifs. So, the question is, how do you work out your break-even point? Before you can work out your break-even point, you will need a good estimate or a good forecast of what your sales are going to be. And remember, when forecasting your sales, you will want to consider market conditions, your trading hours, your seating capacity, and many other things in order to get a good forecast of sales. Now, the second thing you'll need is a forecast of your variable costs and your fixed costs. If you would like more detail on the difference between variable costs and fixed costs, please click on the link above or the link in the description below, where you can find a video where I explore in more detail about the difference between a variable cost and fixed costs. So now that you've forecasted your sales and your expenses, I'm going to share my screen with you and show you how to work out your break-even point. Okay, So this is the break-even calculator that you can use to help you understand how much sales you need to do in order to break even in your restaurant. Now we'll work on monthly figures. So let's start off with your forecasted sales. We forecast your sales for the month to be £10,000. So let's put £10,000 into there. We then forecast your variable cost to be £3,000. Okay. And we've also forecasted your fixed cost to be £5,000 for the month. At this point, what you want to do is you want to work out your variable cost as a percentage. And how you do that is simply by taking your variable cost, okay, and dividing it by your forecasted sales. And in this case, we get 30%. What we're saying is that your variable cost is 30% of your forecasted sales. Now, the next part of this formula is to take away 30%, which is 70%. Okay, just bear with me. You'll shortly see why this figure of 70% is important. Now, the final thing in order to work out your break-even figure is you want to take your fixed costs, in this case £5,000, and divide it by the 70% figure we have just calculated. Now, if you go ahead and punch that in, we get a figure of £7,142.86. What we are saying over here is that your restaurant, on a forecasted sale of £10,000 with variable cost of £3,000 and fixed cost of £5,000, needs to generate sales of £7,142.86 in order to break even. And when we say breaking even, at this point the business is not making a profit and neither is it making a loss. It's very, very important that you calculate that figure so you know how much sales you need to achieve before you start making a profit. Okay, so as you can see, the break-even analysis sales figure is pretty quick and easy to calculate. However, you should be using this as an aid rather than a decision-making tool, and that's because the break-even sales figure has its own limitations. So for example, the variable cost can go up or down depending on market conditions, or your business could be growing and therefore increasing its buying power and decreasing the cost of food. Either way, the break-even sales figure is a great tool for helping you to understand how much sales your business needs to do in order to break even. Well, I hope you have found this video useful in helping you understand the importance and how to calculate your break-even figure. If you are finding these videos useful, please do leave a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking, and if you have any suggestions of what you'd like me to talk about, please do let me know. And finally, please don't forget to hit that like button. I hope to see you next week on Tuesday again. Until then, take care. Bye bye.